Donald Trump's relationships with women have long been the subject of headlines, gossip, and more than a few lawsuits. It's a complex history that spans marriages, affairs, court cases, and even royal connections. So let's walk through it. He married Ivana Trump in 1977. Together, they became a power couple of the 80s, living large, building the Trump brand, and raising 3 children. But things began to unravel when his affair with model Marla Maples came to light. The scandal was messy, the headlines were relentless, and by 1990, the divorce was final. Yet Trump stayed with Marla Maples. They had a daughter, Tiffany, born in 1993. And that same year, the couple got married. But the marriage didn't last, and by 1997, they had separated, citing what else? Differing worldviews. While that second divorce played out in court, Trump met Melania and Stormy. She was a Slovenian-American model. They crossed paths at a party in New York City in 1998. He proposed to her at the Met Gala in 2004, and of course, they were married the following year at a lavish ceremony in Palm Beach. She became his third wife, and eventually the First Lady of the United States. But the story doesn't end there. In 2006, adult film actress Stormy Daniels claimed she'd had a one-night stand with Trump. Years later, during his presidential campaign, it emerged that he'd paid her $130,000 in hush money. That eventually led to a criminal trial, and Trump was ultimately found guilty of 34 felony counts tied to that payment. Still, despite the high-profile affairs and court battles, Trump claimed he had only one regret when it came to women. And it wasn't Ivana, or Marla, or Melania. It was Princess Diana. In his 1997 book, The Art of the Comeback, Trump wrote, "I never had the opportunity to court Lady Diana Spencer." He said they'd met a few times and he was captivated by her, describing her as a woman who lit up the room and called her a genuine princess, a dream lady. And here is where it gets stranger. After Diana's divorce from Prince Charles in 1996, reports claim Trump tried to pursue her. He apparently saw her as the ultimate trophy wife. Now, whether that's bold, bizarre, or both, I'll let you decide. Love Tudor scandals? Well, join my Tudor Secrets Challenge, a free 7-part email series with true stories, royal betrayals, and a free gift each week. Sign up at the link below. Now, let's get back to this week's story. But when it comes to Donald Trump's so-called regret about Princess Diana, there's more to the story. According to the Sunday Times journalist Selena Scott, who was a friend of Diana's, recalled it all quite clearly. It started with flowers, huge bouquets, roses, orchids, all delivered to Kensington Palace, again and again. The same tactic Trump reportedly used when pursuing his first wife, Ivana. In her column, Scott wrote, Trump clearly saw Diana as the ultimate trophy wife. But to Diana, it didn't feel romantic. It felt unsettling. She became nervous, worried, and unsure how to handle it. One evening, over a private dinner, Diana confided in Scott. "What am I going to do?" she asked. "He gives me the creeps." Scott's advice was simple. Just throw them in the bin, and Diana laughed. But the unease lingered. After Diana died in Paris in 1997, Trump reportedly told friends that his biggest regret was that they'd never dated. He claimed he always thought he had a chance with her and that he could have had a shot. Now, whether that's bravado or fantasy is hard to say, but it's part of a long pattern, a recurring theme in how Trump had spoken about women.
I mean, I've been with a number of women, but it's been over a fairly long period of time. I've had great relationships with women.
Admiration mixed with objectification and a tension that could easily tip into obsession. Although Donald Trump only met Princess Diana a handful of times, he didn't seem able or willing to move on after her death. What he said publicly in the months following her funeral shocked many. In 1997, just weeks after Diana was laid to rest, Trump appeared on the Howard Stern show. It was a radio interview, but not a respectful one. Stern asked, "Why do people think it's egotistical of you to say you could have gotten with Lady Di? You could have nailed her, right?" Trump didn't hesitate. "I think I could have," he replied, and then it got worse. The two men launched into a crass, hypothetical role play where Trump, playing himself, insisted that Diana be tested for HIV before sleeping with him. Stern joked, "Hey, Lady Di, would you go to the doctor?" And Trump answered in character, "Go back over to my Lexus because I have a new doctor and we want to give you a little checkup."
I never get this thing with Lady Di. I know you're very gracious to her. I really like Lady.
No, I'll tell you what, I think she's magnificent. Lady Di was truly a woman with great beauty.
You would have slept with her a couple of times. Would you have slept with her?
Without even hesitation.
He wishes he had the opportunity.
So that, Robert, was really beautiful, and people don't realize how beautiful. She was supermodel beautiful. Isn't it amazing? The height, she had the beauty, she had the skin, the whole thing. But these are minor details.
This was 1997, just months after her death, and it didn't stop there. 3 years later, in a 2000 interview with Stern again, Trump doubled down. He said he would have slept with Diana without even hesitation. No apology, no second thoughts, just more bravado. To many, it felt like Diana's memory was being dragged through the dirt. A woman mourned by millions, a mother, a princess, and now reduced to a punchline on a radio show. In one of the more bizarre moments from the Howard Stern show, Donald Trump revealed his ranking of the top 10 hottest women, and third on the list was Princess Diana, just below his ex-wife Ivana, and at the top, Melania, his future First Lady. Trump described Diana as, quote, "crazy," but quickly brushed that off, calling it a minor detail. Then, as if trying to soften it, he went on, "Lady Di was truly a woman with great beauty. She was supermodel beautiful. She had the height, the beauty, the skin, the whole thing." His words weren't just objectifying, they also stood in sharp contrast to how most of the world viewed Diana. To millions, she was admired for her kindness, poise, and ability to connect with people, especially those that society often overlooked. But Trump characteristically focused on how she looked, which makes the behaviour of her son, Prince William, all the more impressive. Despite everything Trump has said over the years, William has met him on several occasions, always with dignity and respect. During Trump's state visit to the UK in 2019, again at the reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral in December 2024, and most recently at the funeral of Pope Francis in April 2025. Each time William maintained composure, measured, professional and respectful. Perhaps that's because he always knew how his mother felt about Donald Trump. And we have some clue about that thanks to Diana's brother, Earl Charles Spencer. In 2023, Trump teased the release of a new book. He claimed it would feature personal letters from world leaders and celebrities, including Princess Diana. According to Trump, they were all people who, in his words, wanted to kiss his ass. But Earl Spencer didn't let that slide. He flatly denied that Diana had ever written Trump anything resembling a flattering note, let alone one expressing admiration. What stands out isn't just what Trump said, it's how he insisted on dragging Diana's memory into his mythology long after she was gone, turning a global icon into a talking point, or worse, a notch on his fantasy list. Diana didn't just endure public scrutiny, she transformed it and used it to highlight landmine victims, aid patients, the lonely and the forgotten. She rewrote what a princess could be, and maybe that's what makes this whole story feel so jarring, because she was never his story to tell. And just when you thought things couldn't get any more pointed, Diana's brother Earl Spencer delivered a response that left no room for doubt. After Trump claimed that Princess Diana wanted to kiss his ass, Spencer fired back on Twitter. Surprised to hear that Donald Trump is apparently claiming my late sister Diana wanted to kiss his ass, since the one time she mentioned him to me was when he was using her good name to sell real estate in New York. She clearly viewed him as worse than an anal fisher. Brutal and completely unambiguous. Yet despite all of this, Trump has been invited back to the UK. An unprecedented second state visit is expected to take place at Windsor Castle this September. It'll mark yet another chapter in the complicated, headline-grabbing relationship between the US President and the British royal family. If you'd like to support the channel and find all my links, just scan the QR code on screen. It'll take you to Patreon, social media, and even my books. Every bit of support helps me keep making videos like this. Even a thumbs up or comment on the video increases its chances of being seen by more people. So I really appreciate you being here, and thanks for watching.